Florence Villamino. Florence, you're at a polling station in the capital. What is the atmosphere like where you are?
Well, Will, the mood is definitely very serious here in the 15th arrondissement at this polling station. People certainly have measured the importance of this day, round one of the presidential election. You can see here the crowds are getting quite crowdy here. The polling station opened at 8 a.m. and there were already people lined up to vote. Now you can see there are quite long lines. So this is one polling station where there are about 1,300 voters. Across from it, there's another polling station, and we spoke to many of these voters who say, look, it's been such an uncertain campaign. Many feel relieved that it is finally voting election day. Let's take a listen to some of them.
I really don't feel well. I didn't sleep well last night at all. This is the first time that's happened to me for an election. I hesitated until the very last second because we don't know. Because this is the first time that I've voted without being completely behind my candidate.
I don't think it will change things. It's sad. I voted to give my opinion, but I don't think it will count much.
This presidential election and the legislative elections that are coming carry important stakes. That's always the case, but we're at a critical stage in France, so it's really important.
Now, Florence,
so you can hear a lot of uncertainty from voters even as they arrive here at the polling station. Just to explain a little bit how it works here in France, you can see this table with the names, little pieces of paper with the 11 candidates written on individual pieces of paper. Now voters show up, they pull out these little pieces of paper. They have their election card, which they show before they can get an envelope, and then they make their way into what's known as an isoloir. It's a booth with a curtain where they go and they cast their ballot. Now, for their ballot to count, they have to put one paper in the envelope. Anything more or anything less doesn't count. And then you can see they join this line, and at the end of the line is the box where they'll put their vote in. And when they have done that, the administrator will say, "À voter," you have voted, you have fulfilled your civic duty.
Now, Florence, it's a tight race, and one thing that might play a determining factor is just how many people do vote. It's a crowded where you are. Do we have any idea how big the turnout will be or when we might get information as to that turnout?
Well, that really is the figure that people are going to be focusing on today. Before this election, they said that we could expect a very high abstention rate. Now, traditionally, people come out in force to vote in presidential elections. For instance, in 2012, the turnout rate was 80%, which is really high and quite high compared to other modern democracies. This time, they're saying that about 30 people could just not show up and vote. Now, those polls, those figures have kind of gone down in recent days. They're expecting 4 people to come out and vote, particularly in the wake of the recent shooting on the Champs-Élysées. A lot of people said that actually that might encourage them to go and vote because this is indeed a very important election taking place in a very uncertain times. There will be estimates, a first estimate at noon and a second estimate at 5 p.m. So these are turnout estimates that we'll be receiving at the Ministry of the Interior. We'll be there to give you those first estimates before, of course, the estimate that everyone is waiting for, the one that comes at 8 p.m. when we should know the results, but we might know it a little bit later because it's such a tight race this year.
All right. Thank you, Florence Villamino, reporting from